Welcome to today's program. We will be discussing one of the bigger issues that I see trip up sales teams and sales managers. And as a sales manager, maybe one that's been promoted from sales as a great salesperson, this may not be something you always consider. So listen up. This is going to be really important for you to think about and implement. What's it all about? Rolling out new sales methods or new tools, but only do so after testing them first. We're going to take you through how new techniques or tools can be a game changer, but only if implemented properly. I'm going to save you a lot of time and heartache, so please pay attention here. The opportunities are going to come along. It's inevitable. You're going to get a new sales tool, a new CRM. You're going to have to develop a new process or a new approach to something. Somebody's going to come up with a great idea. You're going to seize it and take advantage of it. However, it is crucial to ensure that this innovation or new tool are effective and practical before you implement them across the entire sales team. If you roll out a new technique or sales tool before you test it and it doesn't work, well, it can be a major emotional downer. It can be a balloon buster for your sales team and maybe make you look a little foolish and ineffective. Want to avoid that, don't you? Because this scenario is a nightmare for any, let's say, business owner and for sure a sales leader. Now, luckily, there's a way out, and it's called pilot testing. Pilot testing is the strategy of introducing new sales strategies or tools or techniques to just a limited number of salespeople, then assessing how it works, seeing how it works before rolling it out across the entire sales team. I've done this several times in my career. And let me tell you, it saved my bacon more than once. I'm speaking from experience here, my friends. What is the most effective way to roll out new approaches using pilot testing? In this program, we're going to share the importance of testing out new sales strategies before implementing them. And we're also going to explore how pilot testing can help save you time and resources, refine your sales process, foster team buy-in before it's ever implemented. All things you want to make sure you have. But pilot testing can help you, the sales manager, make data-driven decisions. Moving from salesperson to sales manager, it's hard because there's a whole new skill set you're going to need to be able to demonstrate successfully. And a mandatory skill that all sales managers must develop is a strategic mindset. Strategy always includes some level of data. One significant advantage of pilot testing a new program before it's allowed to go to the entire team is it allows you to look at some data and make data-driven decisions, not emotional decisions, being logical versus spontaneous or overly optimistic, which many of you are, before you roll out any new sales tools or strategies to the entire team. What am I talking about in a little more detail? For instance, you might try out a new pricing model or a new sales tool. Maybe it's some data collector. Maybe it's a lead generator. You're testing that new sales tool out with just a salesperson or a very limited number of salespeople. And who you choose is important too. You want to make sure you've got a cross section. I'll tell you a quick story. Back eons ago, I was tasked to introduce a new sales training program to the company I was working with, CarMax. And so I took one store, I took one team, sales team within that store. I brought in a new sales training methodology worked with that team, and that team comprised of some President's Club top level sales consultants and some underperformers, as most sales teams do. And it allowed us to see, how does this affect the results of the top performers, the bottom performers? Most importantly, we want the bottom performers to get better. And if we don't lose anything at the top, that's a positive sign too. If we get a little more at the top, big bonus. But it's really about raising the tide with the underperformers. And so we rolled out the training. We tracked it over a number of months, because 1 month does not a trend create. We looked at it, I believe I remember, around 90 days. We saw significant improvements in our bottom performers once they had these new sales skills that had never been taught to them by the company before. And now it was time to try the entire store. Now I had 18 locations at the time. So we tried it in this one store. Let's see how it does across a broad swath of salespeople. And I think there's 90 salespeople at this time in this one location. And so we tracked the bottom performers. We looked at close rates. We looked at all kinds of sales data. And it was all super positive when we took it out to a broader span of individuals on the team, which gave us the permission, the catalyst, the information we needed to, let's go develop this for a much bigger group, like the entire company, thousands of salespeople. Now, we found some things that weren't working. We tweaked those. We found some things that worked really well, made sure we emphasized those. But this data all helped us make great decisions. That's the strategy that we all must possess in sales leadership. And the data you gather from a pilot group will help you make very informed decisions. And whether you can scale this or modify this strategy, and is it practical? Collecting data, making sure you're tracking this data early, will absolutely help you make any necessary changes to enhance the success for any future rollouts. And the bottom line, you must embrace pilot testing so you can save yourself from the costly mistakes and lost opportunities that, before I knew any better, I was let down by. So again, I speak from experience. So this wasn't always my approach. I'm saving you from the same steps that I didn't know. I didn't know any better. I'm here to help you with that. See, often selling is not always a one-size-fits-all approach. I think you know that. What works for some sales reps may not work for others. You have to keep that in mind. And through pilot testing, you can assess how different strategies, different tools perform with different levels of sales reps, skill sets of reps, performance of reps, and then you can fine-tune it according to the feedback from the pilot group. This pilot group, of course, needs to know they're a pilot group, that they're testing it. But once a week, certainly once a month, you need to sit down. What's working? What's not working? What do we need to change? What do we need to continue? What do we need to emphasize? Keep getting feedback from them. Collaborate with them. Make it a group collaborative effort. And through all these broad opinions and experiences of a pilot group, it'll help you identify the problems, the shortcomings with any new given strategy or tool before you make the mistake of taking it wide. And of course, the goal of a new tool or process is more sales. It's what we're all here for. And likely when you refine your sales process, your sales reps will become more efficient at, let's say, closing deals. That was one of the big things we looked at when I was pilot testing a new sales training program back in the day. And close rates improved significantly. We were on to something. New and improved sales, new and improved profits. Yeah, great combination. And if you approach pilot testing in the way I just described, collaboratively, it'll help you with team buy-in. That's another benefit of this pilot testing, and collaboration is to foster this team buy-in. It's not uncommon for sales teams to resist change, especially when new sales strategies disrupt their existing flow. Even if their existing flow isn't working very well for them, it's amazing how resistant to change they can be. We all have some resistance to change, but through the years, I've found that it's very prominent in sales teams. So by selecting a small group to participate in the pilot process, you can leverage their success, their enthusiasm. They can become brand ambassadors of this new program to the broader team. That's inspiring that buy-in, that enthusiasm, which is infectious to the other team members. And when a sales rep, maybe that's the small cross-section of who you're testing because of the size of your sales team, or a small sales team of a broader group of salespeople, when that rep or that team succeeds, everybody's going to see it because their numbers going to improve, and you've got those numbers posted, I hope, as you should be. And the rest of the team is going to be naturally encouraged. You're going to lower some of that barrier of trust of a new program before you roll it out. It greases the skids for you. Using this approach this way in the rollout stages becomes a lot less challenging for everybody, including you. Then the new process becomes their process, not your process. Key differentiator. Let them make it theirs. Let them have authorship and input and design authority into this new process or this new tool. Get them bought in, and it becomes theirs. There's a joint ownership. And it greatly diminishes that resistance to change. And another thing, when you roll out a new tool or process too soon to the broad team, it will help you save time because you don't have to redo things or maybe retract everything to start all over again before you take it out to the entire team. So test it, look at your data, save money, save stress, save frustration, save resistance. If you do this pilot testing, it's going to help you avoid doubling or redirecting essential resources and improve your return on investment more quickly. It also will save you a level of respect that you want to be able to maintain, because they need to be looking to you as their sales leader as a steady hand of improvement. And when they do things, I need to listen because they do it right. Everything my sales manager shares with me, helps me, asks me to work on, works. This is a way to make sure it works. If you implement a new tool or strategy without early testing it, it's a gamble, whether you're a business owner or a sales leader. So please, pilot test. Find better solutions within that test. Save money within that test. Get buy-in during that test. And if you decide to move forward with it, which you likely are, you're going to make it that much more successful more quickly. So wrapping it up, pilot testing is a critical step successfully implementing any new sales techniques. And by carefully selecting participants, remember, you want top performers, underperformers. You want to be able to compare and contrast, see what raises the tide. So by carefully selecting the best cross-section of participants, implementing the test, monitoring their progress, analyzing results, you as a sales leader, sales manager, or business owner can make very informed decisions. Make haste slowly. because this is going to benefit the entire team at some point, and you want the entire team feeling confident that this is going to be a good change for them. So to recap this tactic, the importance of pilot testing allows you to mitigate risk. It relies on you to get feedback and adaptation, collaboration. It helps you with cost effectiveness. You got to make sure that you're selecting the right candidates. It's a diverse set of skills. This is going to help you with the openness to change as it works. And as part of all this, you need to begin with a clear set of objectives. You got to have a starting point and a goal. You've got to provide training and support. You're going to have to devote extra time and energy to making sure that this is working or the tweaks are being implemented, that you're collaborating with the team on a regular basis, at least weekly, that you're monitoring and gathering feedback with these regular check-ins, that you've got some methodology for data collection and you're looking at this quantitative or qualitative data. You want to analyze those results and make really good decisions.